the biggest day of the high school wrestling season as the state's best have gathered in Rock Island for the IHSA Dual Team Wrestling Championships at the Carver Center on the campus of Augustana College. Hi everybody, I'm Steve Schlanger and welcome to what many consider the epicenter of wrestling, the Quad Cities, where it's already been a very active day on the mats with both the quarterfinal and the semifinal matches leading us to the championship round. We move along to the single A brackets now, and our championship match features Clinton against Montini. Montini with a semifinal win over the number 2 team in the state, Olympia. How does it look to you, Dan?
Clinton has been ranked 6th all year. Montini has been ranked 3rd. I think this is going to be a toss-up. It's going to be a great dual meet.
It's the culmination of a season's worth of effort. It's the Dual Team Championships on the way next from Rock Island. And we start with the heavyweights, the 275-pound class. Brandon Dobb against Paul Murphy. Clinton facing Montini. The Broncos against the Maroons.
Scores 4-0. He got a quick takedown and a 2-point near fall.
And still strong position as they move out of bounds, and now a restart coming up. Paul Murphy about to finish off Brandon Dobb as the clock runs out at the end of their match. It's a 6-2 win for Montini to get things started on the single A level.
That would be just a regular decision, so now Montini's up 3-0.
3 points for the decision, 6 points should a pin occur.
Now Montini's coming out with one of their best wrestlers in Chris Beebe.
And for the Conan Cougars, Rick Ardesena, a junior, 26-11.
Right now you're looking at Montini's 103-pounder, Chris Beebe. He was a state champion this year.
And he goes right at him.
He's got a crossface. He's trying to cradle him right now. Just roll him over his back, right to his back. Now he's earning back points.
Joel Carr, the sophomore, a state qualifier with an impressive record of 32-9 coming in, and Beebe, only a freshman, but 42-3. Making his mark early at the high school level.
He's a very good freshman. He won the state last week, and he's scored well all day today.
About half a minute left to go on the single A mat here in the first period of this second match, the 103-pound level. Still no score on the double A mats with Providence against Conant. And now a whistle will separate the two with 10 seconds left to go, but a 5-1 lead already for Montini and Beebe. And the first period will end with
another takedown.
7-1 lead. Steve Schlanger with Dan Cliff. And now we're on the single A mats, our third match with Montini leading Clinton 7-0. In the team competition, we're under a minute to go in the first period. Jeremy Ryerson for Clinton facing Mike Grimes at the 112-pound weight class.
Ryerson took a 3rd in the state this year, but he also won the state at 103 last year. So he's an excellent wrestler.
Ryerson with a 2-point lead early on. We see so many different moves here, Dan. How important is creativity over power and strength and maybe even speed?
I don't think creativity is as important as flowing through your moves. You've got alternative moves you change off to after one doesn't work. And you know, flowing through those moves is important.
There you see the colors for each of the squads. The Broncos in the gold, the Maroons. And of course, what else but maroon? And the clock will expire to signal the end of the first period in this single A match. And it's a 4-2 lead for the Montini Broncos. And we'll jump over to the single A mat now. We are in the third and final period. It's a 5-3 lead for Clinton. And Clinton yet to get on the board in the team competition, trailing 7-0. Mike Grimes, the sophomore for Montini, facing Jeremy Ryerson, again the junior for the Clinton Maroons. And right now Ryerson trailing by 2 as we come up on 1 minute left to go in the match. Montini trying to get something started early on, like to get on the board and cut into this 7-0 deficit.
Frank Filippi's the official, called him out of bounds. He'll take him back to the center. Frank's a veteran official.
Again, a 2-point lead. As we're under 30 seconds now left to go in the match. Still only 2 points separating these wrestlers with 10 seconds left to go in this match. And they go out of bounds, and the clock stops with 5 seconds left to go. So a quick move needed for any more points before we wrap things up.
Frank Filippi, the official, just called Ryerson for fleeing the mat. So he scored a point for the Clinton wrestler. Excuse me, the Montini wrestler.
5-4 is the lead.
Caution on Grimes.
And that's it. A 6-4 win. So the Clinton Maroons finally get on the board. Their first 3 points in the team competition. They cut the deficit to 4 points overall. Over on the single A mat now. We're in the second period. A 2-0 lead with 24 seconds left to go. Brent Antisberger against Ryan O'Connor. Montini again facing Clinton.
Right here. That's Pat Carey for Montini right now.
And the clock about to expire at the end of the second period. They stop it with 1 second left to go. And there you see it at the 119-pound level. Pat Carey for Montini, Brent Antisberger for Clinton. Three 0 is the lead with 1 second left to go here in the second period, and that'll do it. They'll go to the final 2 minutes. 7-3 the overall lead for the Clinton Maroons. And we saw how we had a change in wrestlers, and some may go up or down in weight classes for various reasons, right, Dan?
Yes, if you have 2 good wrestlers at one weight class, and you feel that you can move a wrestler up to beat another wrestler, what you do is you put both of them in, and you can go ahead and score more points that way. It's just a juggling act. It's like a substitution in basketball. Pat Carey's got a record of 11-4, so he seems to be a very good wrestler.
You see the Broncos on top of the Maroons 7-3. They've led throughout in the team competition.
He rolled out of an armbar. I haven't seen that in a long time.
And about to go for a pin. Trying to finish him off. He rolls away. Good strength to snap out of that one. Under a minute left to go in the third period.
He slid his arm between the body and was able to turn off his back that time.
It's over on the single A mat now at the 135-pound weight class. We've got 1:20 left to go in the second period, and the Montini Broncos in this match leading 7-1. Matt Chapman, the junior for the Clinton Maroons, trailing by half a dozen.
Well, you talk about the Providence tradition. The tradition has gone through 3 head coaches so far. Mark Ruderberg and Mike Poles.
He flips him over, now going for the pin, tries to get him down.
Nice half
Trying
Nelson.
desperately. The head coach up off the bench wanting the pin, has his arms in the air, but they're not giving it. Half a minute left to go. Second period, a 10-1 lead now for Montini in this match. Craig Javikowski, the junior, up by 9 points with 10 seconds left to go in the second period as the Montini Broncos trying to reclaim the team lead, trailing by 1, 12-11. And we're now through 2 periods, and it's a commanding lead for the Broncos. Javikowski, the junior qualifier, 39-5 the record. Matt Chapman, the junior, at 32-4 for the Clinton Maroons. But right now it's Chapman on top as he gets position. And Javikowski looking a bit winded, but still leading by 11, 12-1. As he tries to give his team the lead once again. Montini led early on, had a 7-0 lead at one point, but Clinton has come back with the help of a pin. They lead by 1, and we're now down to the final 60 seconds of this match. Javikowski trying to ride things out for the victory. And now a potential pin.
That's going to be very close.
Chapman looking to hold him down, trying to roll him over.
He just made an adjustment. I think he's got it.
And he finally did get it. A huge win.
He adjusted his chest so it put more pressure down and shifted his shoulders down. Very good move.
Take a look again at how it ended.
You can see him adjust his chest, which will give him more room to push the shoulders down. There it is. There's the foul.
And the Montini Broncos now with a 5-point lead. They're under a minute left to go in the first period at the 140-pound weight class. And Ted Ekman apparently is the change as he comes in to wrestle for the Montini Broncos at 140 pounds. He's facing B.J. Hanlon for the Clinton Maroons. No score in this match Under 30 seconds now left to go in the opening period. 17-12, Montini with the team lead. And both wrestlers, it looks like, will take it to the end of the period. No scoring in the first 2 minutes between Clinton and Montini. Back on the single A mats. We're in the second period, about a minute left to go. Still no score, a very tightly contested match between Hanlon and Ekman.
There's 1 point escape there.
So Montini with the first lead in this match, 1-0. And now a whistle stops the action, and they will check out the wrestler.
He's got a little blood on his face. They're going to check him out, clean him up. We get 5 minutes to do that.
To the end of the second period on the single A mats. 1-1 is our score, final 10 seconds. And a whistle as they move out of bounds with 3 seconds left on the clock. This is Ekman against Hanlon. Ekman for Montini, Hanlon, the senior, for the Clinton Maroons. And we move to the second period tied at 1. Just about as close as you can get on this single A mat. Check that, we are going to the third period in this match, but as I said, about as close as you can get. The match tied at 1, and only 1 point separating the two teams in the team score, 17-12 in favor of the Broncos.
Well, he's riding the legs here, and it looks like he's just trying to turn him. He's trying to get back points. Obviously, if the wrestler on the bottom gets away, he's going to be winning by 1 point, so he's trying to force a near fall position.
Could this be a pivotal match with only 1 point separating the teams and a tie score here in the third period?
Well, I think when you get a state championship match like this, you win the close matches like this, it's going to be the difference.
Check that, it is a 5 point difference. Montini on top, still very close.
Oh yeah, 1 fall and they're ahead. But in a close match like this, you have to win the close matches or you won't win the meet.
Two 2-1 is the lead for Clinton.
I think one way to look at it is, either way, you could have a 6 point swing in the score here. If you win, you get 3 points. If you lose, they get 3 points. So that's a big swing in a dual meet, especially if it's very close.
B.J. Hanlon, the senior, on top, now 3-1, with 1:07 left to go in this match. And now 2 more points for the Clinton Maroons and B.J. Hanlon, increasing his lead to 5-1 with only about 40 seconds left to go in the match. Now 5-2 the score. Make it 6-2. An additional point is awarded to B.J. Hanlon. He's up by 4, and we've got 31 seconds left. And now checking for blood once again. And as we have a break in the action, we will clear the way for these and then continue with the dual team wrestling championships from here in the Quad Cities. We'll come back after this. Back to single A's now. Early on, first period at the 145-pound weight level, with Montini in the team competition leading Clinton 17-15. It's Josh Carr for the Maroons against Joey Sipic for the Broncos. Carr, the state qualifier, he's a junior. Joey Sipic, also a junior, also a state qualifier, finishing 4th last week. And a quick 2-0 lead for the Montini Broncos and Joey Sipic with under a minute now left to go in the opening period. And it appears as though on the AA side of things, the 152-pound weight class is a forfeit. The victory will go to Providence New Lenox. That makes it now 30-6 as we jump straight ahead to the 160-pound weight class. We'll go back to the single A match where they're about to start the third and final period. The Montini Broncos at the 145-pound weight level with Joey Sipic, the junior, leading 7-2 over Josh Carr. Montini with a 2-point team lead, trying to extend that with a victory in this match.
He's pretty much hanging on there, hoping for a stalemate call. Well, he improved his position there. Now he's looking a little better.
Both wrestlers looking a little fatigued at this point, but still a relatively small margin. Only 5 points between them and 1:20 left to go.
It's been a long day.
Yes, it has, but each match is big. On this single A match, we know things are pretty much well in hand on the AA side, but right now only 2 points separating the two teams, so every match could be pivotal. And we're on the single A's as we wind down here. And that'll do it.
9-5.
As Montini wins at the 145-pound weight class. Joey Sipic with the victory, and they will extend on their lead. Now 20-15, the Broncos over the Maroons. And more action upcoming from the dual team championships here in Rock Island. Steve Schlanger with Dan Cliff. We're coming back on Fox Sports Net. We're at the single A match right now, the 162-pound weight class, or I should say 160-pound weight class. A quick 2-0 lead, now 5-0 for the Montini Broncos. And we do have a change of wrestlers from the listed pairings for the Clinton Maroons. It's Bill Reedy. He's going up against Adam Clay for Montini. Adam Clay, only a freshman, but a state qualifier, finishing 4th last week. And he faces Bill Reedy. But right now, Reedy is trailing Adam Clay, the freshman, looking for the 2nd consecutive victory for the Montini Broncos. 23-15. Bill Reedy with a record of 12-9 coming in. An 8-point Bronco lead. This is as big a lead as any team has had for a long time in this particular match, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, it's been a very tight meet. As we expected, it's going to be close all the way to the end.
Trying to roll him over, looking for the pin here in the first period.
Bonus points are going to be important, so that's why it's important to get falls and technical falls. There it is.
And a huge win, a huge pin here in this first period. And that's quite a statement. And look what it does to the scoreboard as well, 29-15. That may be the dagger in the hearts of the Clinton Maroons as the Montini Broncos now have their biggest lead of the day.
That's 9 points that Clinton was not expected to come at him.
Check out this pin once again.
He's got what they call a butcher, and he pulled him over with it. Now he gets his shoulders down, forces his chest straight down, through to the shoulders. And you'll see both shoulder blades touch the mat for 2 seconds, and the official calls a fall. He's trying to arch there. Official gets in position, sees the fall, and calls it.
And now over to the single A mat. This is the 171-pound weight class. About 1:30 left to go in the second period. A 2-0 lead for Clinton. And it's Josh Cooper, originally listed at the 160-pound level, wrestling at 171. Josh Cooper wrestling against Trevor Ekstrom for the Montini Broncos, who lead 29-15.
That's a move that Coach Rob Leben did, and he's trying to make a move to score some more points here, get himself back in the meet.
The crowd, as you might expect, a lot more vocal over on the single A side, with it relatively closer. Under a minute in the second period, 2-1 the lead for Cooper, as the Maroons try to climb back into it, but it's getting late. And as the pressure mounts with the remaining matches, you can bet the individual wrestlers really feel it, Dan.
And the style will change also, because if a wrestler just has to win, he can just wrestle his own style. If he has to pin someone for the team's bonus points, he goes to more upper body and starts throwing and do things like that that he's not used to.
It's a scramble now. 4-1 the lead for the Clinton Maroons, and Cooper, 10 seconds remaining, second period, 171-pound weight class. And that'll do it. 2 minutes left to go in the match. After 2 periods, a 4-1 lead for Cooper and the Clinton Maroons, who trailed 29-15 to the Montini Broncos, searching for the state title at the single A level. You've heard from time to time how loud the crowds have been here at the Carver Center at Augustana College. And this is an area where folks really appreciate good wrestling. Steve Schlanger with Dan Cliff at the Carver Center in Rock Island, Illinois, here in the Quad Cities area. On the single A mat, the 189-pound weight class, as both wrestlers go towards the benches. And Tyrone Bird is now wrestling for Clinton. That's a change for the Maroons. And he's facing Brent Reese, the sophomore. Check that. Instead, it's Joe Belgio, apparently the senior. Belgio wrestling for the Montini Broncos, who lead 29-18. Bird and Belgio, as the single A's have yet to be decided. Early on in the first period, 29-18. This match much closer earlier on. It went back and forth, but then a couple of matches ago, a pivotal pin and some separation between these two teams really gave the Broncos a huge lift.
Bird's got a butcher in, and he's trying to turn him to his back.
Trying to roll him over. Looking at the official, hoping for the points. 30 seconds remaining in the opening period. 2-0 the lead for the Maroons in this match. And it appears as though they will ride it out like this to the end of the period, as he tries for more leverage with under 10 seconds remaining now.
Oh, he's in trouble
Now
there.
trying for the pin, trying to end it right here.
Oh, he ran
And
out of
instead,
time.
the clock saves him. Saved by the bell. 2-0 the lead after 1 period. Now it actually will be 5-0. Some points awarded right there on the final move. So they'll go to the second period with the Clinton Maroons leading 5-0 in this match. Still not out of it, as Bird leads it on top of Belgio for the Montini Broncos. Montini on top 29-18, but Clinton chipping away.
You're gonna see the style of these two wrestlers change, because they're gonna have to, both of them have to get falls. They have to score 6 points apiece instead of just getting a win. So they're gonna be trying to throw some things.
Six 6-0 the lead for Bird. hoping for a pin and the 6 necessary points. We'll go back to single A now. 20 seconds left to go in the second period. The Clinton Maroons leading this match. Bird on top, 8-0 now over Belgio. But the Montini Broncos maintaining the team advantage at 29-18. This is the 189-pound weight class again. One more weight class to go. Belgio, the senior, trying to pull it out for the Broncos, but trailing as we now go to the third period. 2 minutes left to go in the match. Bird leading 8-0. A little winded. It's getting late, and now the crowd on their feet, looking for a response. 11 points separating these two teams, with only one weight class remaining and standing in front of the Montini Broncos in a state title. Quickly to the mat, trying to gain position. And the crowd imploring Joe Belgio, chance of let's go Joe. Hoping he can turn it around. And essentially, mathematically, put the Maroons out of it.
Well, if he could get a technical fall and then the 215-pounder got a fall, we could have a tie meet. Now we would have to go to criteria. Looks like Bird's going to let him go here, try to take him down from his feet to his back.
And he gets 1 point as he scrambles away. 8-1 now, the lead for Bird and the Maroons. A minute 23 left in this match. This is the only match going on here at the Carver Center. All the other 3 matches have wrapped up. Now he takes it to his back. He's got the fall.
That was the throw I was talking about. That's the only thing he could do.
The clock winding down. We're under a minute now left to go.
He's got plenty of time to pin him. There it is.
He's got it.
They're still in it.
A huge victory. The Maroons needed it in the worst way, and they got it. It makes it 29-24 with one weight class remaining. 5 points separating these two teams. Set for an exciting finish here at the Carver Center. It's worth another look.
Just a lateral throw. Takes him right to his back. Cinches him down, slides his hips down a way to force his back down. You can see the official calling back points. He's watching for the fall. And there it is.
The jury is still out on the single A mats. We'll step aside and then come back with the conclusion. The 215-pound weight class is up next from the Carver Center. A minute 35 remaining in the opening period. The 215-pound weight class. Brent Rees wrestling for the Clinton Maroons, trailing by 5, 29-24. And Clinton and Rees with a 2-point lead make that now 2-1 here in the opening period.
Well, as I said earlier, Rees is going to have to throw. He's got to go for a fall. Either a technical fall or a pin. One of the two.
A pin gives him the win. It leaves no doubt as to what the strategy is. The entire Carver Center now with their attention on this particular mat. Greg Strumpek trying to hold on for the Montini Broncos. 29-24 is their lead. Everybody from the other matches is circling this mat, waiting for what promises to be a very exciting finish. Half a minute now left to go. A 4-2 lead for the Maroons, trailing by 5 in the match.
Well, if this ends up in a tie, Montini would have criteria. So they have to have a fall. They have to have a fall to win.
He's got to be aggressive. Only leading by 2 right now. However, that doesn't mean anything. He needs the pin.
Oh!
Will he get it? Will they get the pin? struggling mightily. Hoping to finish it right here. Montini looking to close it out. But instead they separate them. There's 2 points awarded.
And a 3 near fall, and they call it potential dangerous because he came across the throat.
So Montini leading now 7-4.
I'll check that. The time went out. Sorry. I thought it was potential dangerous. The time went out.
A quick glance.
He was just getting over aggressive, and then he got thrown through with a Japanese whizzer, they call it, and took him right to his back.
Third and final period underway. This is it. He has to go for something big, but the Broncos, it looks like, are well in command. Will the Maroons have enough? All it takes is one move, Dan.
That's right. All you have to do is pin him. You could be losing by 14 points and pin him, and you still win.
He's got to find a way to break it. Instead, goes hard to the mat.
That's an example I talk about. He's responsible to bring that wrestler down under control. This is really exciting. All the AA schools are around. Everybody's encircled the mat. There's a cradle.
Trying to pull him back. Getting his shoulders down, hoping for the pin to close it out. Under a minute left, and there it is. Montini, state champions as they defeat the Clinton Maroons.
The Montini fans are going crazy. Coach Pekuski, Mike Pekuski, are just happy as get out.
A very emotional Montini side. Clinton, a valiant comeback, but a very exciting set of matches overall. It went back and forth early on, but it ended like this.
Nice cradle, brings him back to his back. All he has to do then is push his hips away and rotates his shoulders down to the mat. And you'll see the fall called directly. There it is.
There's the pin, and now from another angle.
You see him bring him back. Now you'll see his right knee pushing his hips away to try to rotate him back. Oh, he didn't push him back for that. He just pulled him back and rotated him with his arms.
Terrific form and tremendous strength as the Broncos win it. 35-24 is the final score as they claim the state title at the Class A level. You see the euphoria on the Montini side. They win it. New Lenox wins it. On the AA side, we have 2 state champions. We'll come back with the awards and some additional thoughts when we return to Rock Island in a moment on Fox Sports Net. A thrilling finish to an exciting day of wrestling here in the Quad Cities. Steve Schlanger with Dan Cliff, and our Pepsi moment is the one that clinched the state title for the Montini Broncos.
Greg Strempek of Montini cradles up his opponent, takes him to his back. Clinton had to have a fall at this weight class, and Strempek stopped it, gets the fall, and earns the state championship for his team. You'll see the official call the fall here in a second, and means Montini is Class A dual team state championship.
And there's Keith Healy, the head coach of the state champion Providence Celtics. They win their 4th consecutive state title. They are the 2000 champions. Healy wins his 4th title at Providence. Just a juggernaut, and they will continue this dynasty into the next millennium. State champions at the AA level, and the Montini Broncos also champions at the single A level. What a day of wrestling here at the Carver Center in Rock Island. So for Dan Cliff, I'm Steve Schlanger saying so long from the 2000 IHSA Dual Wrestling Championships in the Quad Cities. The proceeding has been a presentation of Fox Sports Net.